Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Sunday, November 28th, 2021. This, right here and now, people, this is my newest segment of Markets A Look Ahead. I want to talk about a lot of things with you, try to put a perspective on. Look, you want to talk about a freak show? You all know what a freak show this actually is, but we have actually taken this to a new level. You can't possibly make some of this stuff up. In fact, most of it you couldn't make up. I've been telling you this, well, for many years now. Let's talk about this new fear campaign that is in full swing. You knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. I explained this to you Friday, how this would play out. You want to laugh just a little bit? Turn on the mainstream media for a moment. They are going on and on about this new variant. Let's talk about that real quick. Omicron. This Omicron variant. Okay, in case you're not aware yet, Omicron is an anagram for moronic. Yeah, look at it yourself. It's a freaking anagram. People are throwing it in our face. And again, you can't possibly make this stuff up if you try to. It's out of control. And the thing with the mainstream media right now, the fear campaign is really gone beyond. Some of the stuff they're talking about here is insane. I had to write some of this down. This is a headline here. This was from Reuters. World threat on new variant as it spreads worldwide. It's going on and on. Here, these are some other things this morning. I'm flipping. So it's highly contagious. It's spreading rapidly. It's virulent, meaning deadly here. It's a serious concern. But then they go on to say, oh, you know what? We really don't know much about it. But we do know it's moronic. Yes, we know it's moronic, and we should all be terribly, terribly afraid. People, what is this leading to? Okay, more fear means more control, okay? There's a lot of people right now who are petrified. They don't know what to do. They're stuck. They're frozen in time. Not you or me. Again, for the most part, we're laughing. We've been laughing for the longest time. And we're going to continue to do that as we move forward because we understand what's going on, okay? This is so outrageous. And again, it goes beyond the freaking supernatural, beyond science fiction. Moronic is here, and we should be horrified and terrified. Yeah, seriously. Anyway, so look, it's kind of astonishing to me, and not really, honestly. So right after this thing, moronic was announced, they started immediately with the fear campaign. And again, just turn on any of the mainstream channels or you want to search it. It's all about fear, control. It's out of control. It's out of control. And this is not it. You knew this was coming. I told all of you from a long time ago, and you knew it yourself. Okay, we're not that stupid. And if you believe that this moronic is the last one, and this is going to be it. Oh, it's all going to get good from here. Well, you have no idea of what's actually going on, people. Let's go back a little bit and talk about what happened on Friday with this market. Okay, so the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell like over 900 points. As a matter of fact, the major stock market indices, all of them, fell over 2%. Okay, nothing major, but it's reasonably significant. Crude oil, people, got decimated. It won't last. It will not last. Mark my words here. Period. The end. I'm not saying it can't fall farther, more. I always mix that up, but it's not gonna last. They're gonna prop that up. Travel stocks got decimated. Airlines, stuff like that here. Energy stocks got cremated. Banks fell under pressure. Look, what does the market always do? How does it work? Okay, you and I clearly understand that the market always, without exception, overreacts either to the upside or to the downside. Friday, in my view, was an overreaction to this. Again, what drives the market? Two things, and you know what they are. Fear and greed. Fear is stronger. Everyone goes running to the door at the same time. And fear, people, listen to Greg Mannarino. Fear is an opportunity, okay? You and I don't go, running for the hills, crying, weeping, go hiding in some corner here under a blanket. No, we say, okay, we understand what's going on, and this is what we're going to do to take advantage of it. Look, that's the way this whole thing works. And if you believe, for example, that the Wall Street hedge funds or investment banks aren't, foaming at the mouth over this, then again, you don't know what's going on here. People, let me put another perspective on this for you. All this nonsense, garbage, moronic talk about how and this is another thing. Okay, the Federal Reserve, they're gonna taper faster. We know for a fact, you and me, they tapered nothing. All they did, people, was what? What did they do? Yes, they lowered their minimum asset purchase targets per month. That's all they did. There's no cap. They can buy anything they want. And then you got all this talk, again, over the last few weeks about how the Federal Reserve is going to be, they're actually going to start raising rates. Did you see the entire yield curve over the past few weeks? It has come down. It has come down, people. And, that should be no surprise to you either. I told you. I said, let's see, weeks ago, what happens when they taper. And I said I would not be surprised to see the yield curve come down. Well, that's exactly what happened. Look, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure this stuff out. If you know the game plan, if you know the bigger picture here, people, look, this is a global takeover by a private entity who wants to own it all. Everything, and every single thing you're seeing with regard to the fear campaign, moronic viruses being spread. This is all of this. Everything you're seeing right now has been planned well in advance. This is bringing the world to a certain moment in time, okay, where central banks become the ruling body of the world, okay? We have no representation anymore. You all know that. The central banks of the world have become the one world government that we have all been warned about for a very, very long time. And we're watching several things go on. As a part of this, no surprise, again, to anyone who understands this, an elimination of an entire class of people on a global scale. Okay, the middle class is being systematically wiped out. And you can expect the pressure on middle class people to get a lot worse here. Surging inflation, do you really think this is by accident with the Federal Reserve and other central banks? The Federal Reserve is public enemy number one. You all know that. The Federal Reserve is the controlling entity of the world. Again, the US dollar being the world reserve currency, okay, gives the Fed virtually unlimited power, okay? And what are they doing with these dollars, people? They're funneling them around the world to central banks around the world who are buying assets with dollars. Period. All right, they're dollarizing the world effectively, bringing the world to its knees under a surging bubble in debt, and you can see the ramifications or the effect of it in inflation skyrocketing at its fastest pace we've ever seen here in the United States. It's not going to stop. The Fed will continue to run its inflation creation machine at full speed. They have no intention whatsoever, nor do they want to stop. Their goal has been since forever to inflate, and inflate some more. I've told you that exact thing for I don't even know how many years, and here it is right now. It's not going to stop. So just get used to it. Anyway, going back to this market and looking ahead a little bit. All right, so we got this sell-off here on Friday, like I said. a little over 2%, 2.5%, whatever it was across the board with regard to the major indices. Crude oil getting slammed. It's not going to last. It will not last. I'm not calling a bottom here. Look, any imbecile who's trying to call tops and bottoms in any asset is, in fact, moronic and, in fact, an imbecile. All right? Can't be done. All right? So forget about trying to do that kind of thing to work. Okay? Sure, you can get lucky. I've told you a million times. Yeah, absolutely. But in the long run, you play that game, you're going to lose. And I will not let you lose. All right? You and I are in the business of capitalizing on things, gauging the macro picture. Okay, what's going on? What is the underlying cause of everything we're seeing right now? And this is central banks, none more so than the Fed, manipulating the entire financial market, pulling the economy along with it, the propaganda ministry, spreading fear, spreading lies, distractions, telling you to look here when you should be looking over here. You understand? It's very, very simple. Now, like I said, markets function, again, on fear and greed. Fear is stronger. And that's why markets tend to overreact, especially to the downside. When you see a market, let's say, markets can obviously overreact to the upside too on euphoria. See, the market is very emotional. It runs off of it. And it's counting on people to do that. The institutional investors, the investment banks, the hedge funds, professional traders. Okay, we laugh. We laugh at this kind of stuff because all this does is present opportunity. So look, instead of being a little freak out here, okay, that's afraid of what's going on, and this is all just fear, and it's moronic fear, and they're throwing it right in our face, okay, we are going to sit back, take it all in, and realize what we need to do. And people, I'm going to tell you right now, gauging from what the MMRI did you see the action in the MMRI, the Mannarino Market Risk Indicator, which is, in my view, the best freaking risk indicator for the market that's been created maybe ever, okay? There is a link in the description of this video to the MMRI right on my website. It cratered, and we are now below 90. How many times have you heard me tell you that I don't like seeing the MMRI over 90 in this environment? Well, we are under 90 here, people. Look, I understand a lot of you are afraid. I get that, okay, with regard to the market, because you're being brain twisted by a lot of YouTubers out here who are calling for a market crash to happen imminently. And every single time, without exception, they've all been wrong. You can choose to listen to these moronic imbeciles, okay? Or you can choose to listen to a guy who has kept all of you on this market on the right side of this market for years. You pick. You choose. Who do you want to listen to? And I'm telling you right now, this is not the big one. A lot of people, again, writing to me, Greg, you're wrong. You have no idea, people, all of you, what happens when the market sells off like Friday. I get called out. I get belittled. Oh, Greg is wrong. This is it. This is the top of the market. We're going down. This is the big one. No. They don't know where to look. Let me explain this to you. I know a lot of you out here do follow other YouTubers who are calling the market. Are these people really market experts? Are these people really in the market like I am or you are? No, they're not. Okay, they're out there for the most part trying to make sense of what's going on, but they don't understand the debt market. They don't understand the root cause of the problem, which is the Federal Reserve, which is, again, the most evil, wicked, despicable organization on the face of the earth. And they think, oh, this is by accident. Nothing, including this new moronic variant, okay, is by accident. Expect more of this. Expect more fear, more control, much more inflation moving forward here. We're in the middle, again, of a shift in society, a demographic shift like you can't believe. Again, extreme haves, extreme have-nots, just like I've explained to you for the longest time. A wipeout of the middle class. You have a target on your face right now. And what are you doing about it? I hope you're not just sitting here listening to Greg Mannarino and just, walking away and having a cup of coffee. I hope you're sitting here and saying, okay, you know what? Understanding the current environment, What do I do about it? Now, I understand. A lot of you are not investors or traders. That's fine. But you need to be on the opposite side of the debt bubble. Okay? Take action here, people. Take advantage of what you're seeing right now with regard to, I don't even want to call it a major drop in the price of cryptocurrencies. People, this asset class, cryptocurrencies, I know a lot of you don't like it. You'd rather be in the dollar, I guess. I don't know what your issue is here. Had you listened to Greg Mannarino when he said to start buying Bitcoin at around 3,000, you'd have a much different perspective on what's going on here. I know a lot of you, by the way, who wrote to me, even over the weekend, at the end of the week, Friday, are closing your Bitcoin positions, and that's okay too. That's okay. Some of you have unfreaking believable profits in cryptocurrencies. Good. That's fine. There's nothing ever wrong with pulling profit in anything. Okay? You can always get back in, reallocate cash. That's what I do all the time. With other assets, I have not sold any of my cryptos, and I don't plan on doing so, probably for the foreseeable future. I'm telling you the truth. Something so dramatic would have to happen for me to get bearish on cryptos. I am a massive bull on cryptocurrency. I am a raging bull when it comes to precious metals, especially silver. Okay, so you want to be on the opposite side of the debt bubble, which is going to get much larger. Okay, they are going to create many more reasons to borrow cash from the future to hyperinflate even further. And they'll hyperinflate the debt bubble. Again, it's the nature of the beast. It's a debt-based economic model. They're going to create reasons to do it, okay? They're going to propagate fear on a massive scale. And we're seeing that right now with the Moronic variant. Take advantage of these things, people. All right, so look, let me just make sure. I know actually I want to talk about a few more things. I know this video is getting kind of long, but bear with me here. What we can expect moving forward, people, again, with this new Moronic variant, okay? Understand, Omicron is an anagram for moronic. They're making fun of you. All right, we can expect more calls for supply chain disruptions here. What does that mean? It means that you can expect prices to skyrocket moving forward. More lockdowns, of course. Again, could that hit crude oil more so than it's being hit right now? Absolutely, but it won't last. It will not freaking last. So just expect these things. You know, it's incredible. With regard to travel stocks and airlines and energy, I think this is all a buying opportunity, okay? Until the MMRI tells us different. And right now the MMRI is telling us that risk in this market just dropped pretty substantially. And a lot of that is because the Fed is going to keep pumping the market. All the fake news about how the Fed tapered, they tapered nothing, how the Fed is going to be raising rates. It's nonsense. It's not going to happen in any meaningful way, probably forever. This is the new environment. This is the new set of rules, the new paradigm I've spoken about for a very long time. Anyway, what else did I need to cover here with you people? God, I wrote down so much stuff here. Anyway, look, I'm not going to even talk about that anymore because I really believe you understand what's going on in this market. Nobody knows it better than you do, people, and it's out of control. But again, the more out of control it gets, in Greg Mannarino's view, third person, the more opportunity there's going to be for you and I. For those of us that have even one fraction of a functioning brain cell, we can make this happen. We are not going to lose. We are not going to let this absolute distorted, twisted, moronic freak show beat us. It ain't going to happen. We're going to stay ahead of this. We're going to stay on top of this. And we're going to rip its freaking face off from, moving forward. Forget about it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to remain hedged in this market. You understand that? Being risk on remains, in my view. Risk on meaning cash is going to, again, be going back into this market, buying the dips moving forward. The Fed is not going to stop pumping the market. So that means the market is going higher regardless of anything else. Nothing matters here, okay, besides the action of the Federal Reserve to artificially prop up this market. They are a serial bubble blower. That's all they do. It's a wealth transfer. The Federal Reserve blowing bubbles, letting them blow up. Blowing bubbles higher, letting them blow up. But right now, this bubble ain't done. It is not done. And how do we know that? Because risk in this market is dropping. It's dropping. And the Fed is going to continue to buy it all until they don't. And then people, look, we're going to talk because this is going to be biblical. What they have in store coming, what they have coming for us all is a monster. A monster. Forget about moronic, okay? What is coming is a monster. And every single one of us needs to understand that. We need to be on the right side of this equation, and that means being hedged, people. Greg Mannarino I have assets all over the place, okay? But I am hedged, so I really don't care. I am in risk on assets. I am in risk off assets. If, in fact, the market were to fall 4,000 or 5,000 points in one day, it's not going to bother me. It's not going to bother me at all. It shouldn't bother you either. It only would bother you if you're in a single asset class. You can't be just in a single asset class here, in my view, okay? But if you had to be in one asset class, what would Greg Mannarino tell you that should be? Precious metals, more specifically silver, people. I will never deviate. Well, maybe at one point in history, God knows when. But right now, in my view, okay, physical silver is the most undervalued asset on the planet today. Okay, that's just my take on it. You're, of course, allowed to have your own take on this. People, very long video. Please share this. Get it out there. I could go on and on and on. I'm kind of a motor mouth, I guess, right? But people, look, take action. Don't just sit back and say, wow, this is all really good stuff. And don't do something. Act. Okay, like I say a million times, this channel is for winners. And if you allow me to, I'll help you win. Anyway, people, love you a lot. I mean that. And I will see all of you in the morning, and we will reconvene right here. See you later.